Have you ever wondered how your life would change if you learned not just to avoid negative moments, but to use them as stepping stones to personal victory? Imagine that every negative word and every difficult challenge is not just a blow, but an opportunity for growth and self-development. Marcus Aurelius wisely observed that everything we see is just an interpretation. For what is life if not what we make of it? Your perception of negative events shapes not only your inner state, but your entire journey, which you will lay out for yourself. Negativity is not just an obstacle. It's a challenge that you can turn into a chance for growth. We'll show you how to turn negativity into sources of strength and wisdom. Every challenge can be part of your path to great achievement. You'll learn how to practice the principles of resilience and inner peace to not just deal with challenges, but to use them as fuel for your success. So come on, recognize your power. There is an inner power hidden within each of us, able to absorb any negative influence and destructive impact from the outside. We often underestimate our power and allow negative thoughts, words, and actions to creep into our minds, destroying it from the inside out. But think about it for a second. You are not just a random collection of emotions and thoughts. When life puts challenges in front of you, when those around you put pressure on you, remember, it is in these moments that your true power can manifest. It's important to realize that you have the right to consciously choose what to let into your life and what not to. Rejection is not always easy. There are times when it feels like the world is against you, when every look and every word directed at you is full of venom. But it is in those moments that you must stand firm. As Marcus Aurelius said, nothing should make you act against your nature. Your choices are your weapons. You decide what goes into your heart and what stays outside of it. The paradox is that the power of choice lies not in action, but in inaction. By choosing not to respond to someone else's negativity, you affirm yourself. Your power must be maintained when someone tries to destroy your inner world and make you doubt yourself. Just realize their power is limited. It only exists as long as you allow it to. Don't expect life to be easy. Sometimes things will fall apart, and people will disappoint you over and over again. But the stronger the storm, the stronger your convictions. You will not give up your right to choose, nor will you passively accept other people's fears and doubts. Your strength is your inner freedom, and no one can take it away. Do not allow yourself to lose your intrigue. The world may offer you chaos, but you don't have to accept it. You can create your own order. You choose how you perceive any situation or threat. What will you do in response? Passively react or actively manage? That decision is where your power lies. Your power is that you don't just react to the world, you shape it. When you stop being a prisoner of other people's expectations and fears, you will be free of anything that doesn't fit your path. And that's when you will realize that no external force can break you unless you yourself give up your inner power. So hold on to your power. It's unshakable in this world. Choose consciously, act decisively, and no negative influence can break you. You are stronger than you think, and stronger than this world wants you to believe. Mental barriers are not just a psychological trick. They are a necessity. They are your armor in a world where negativity pours down like endless rain. No one is immune in this world. From toxic words, barbed stares, and attempts to shove their complexes and fears into you. But here's what's important to understand. You don't have to take it all on yourself. You don't have to carry a weight on your shoulders that doesn't belong to you. Create an invisible barrier inside yourself. Let it become an impenetrable shield that separates your essence from everything that should not touch you. This barrier is not just a defense. It is a symbol of your determination not to give in to outside manipulation. When you hear negativity, when you encounter judgment, just feel it. How those words crash against your shield like waves, and your goal is not just to ignore, but to transform that negativity, not allowing it to penetrate deeper than the surface. Words may be sharp, but they are powerless over someone who has gained control of his inner world. Man suffers not from events, but from his attitude toward them. Epictetus once said, "This is the truth that many people miss. Your attitude toward the words and actions of others is the key to your freedom." Every time someone tries to, you may be hurt, hit in the feelings. You can choose to let that blow touch you or watch it bounce powerlessly off your barrier. Don't be fooled. Negative people exist, and they will try to hurt you. But their influence is limited by how much you allow them to penetrate your consciousness. This barrier you create is not a sign of weakness or escapism. It is your inner discipline, your refusal to be vulnerable to what doesn't matter. You are the master of your thoughts, architect of your inner world. Don't let others dictate to you how to feel and how to react. This mental barrier, this invisible shield, is your fortress. Behind it, you can be yourself. You can maintain your integrity and clarity in a world where there is so much noise. You choose to be quiet and still inside. Let their words bounce off. Let their attempts to hurt you remain fruitless. You walk your own path, free from other people's opinions and evaluations. Your strength is not in destroying your enemies, but in remaining yourself. Stand firm in the face of their attacks, creating a barrier not to isolate yourself from the world, but to preserve your inner freedom, and that freedom is priceless. Switching is an art that everyone who wants to maintain inner peace needs to master. Negativity awaits at every turn. When you are faced with something that can shake your sanity, it is important not to get bogged down in it. Negativity attracts. It has a powerful energy that can consume you if you let it. But here's what you must. Remember, you always have a choice, and that choice is where to direct your attention. When the world seems to be shrinking to the size of your problems and frustrations, don't let it consume you. This is when you have the opportunity to break free from the grip of destructive emotions. Choose something that strengthens you, that brings you back to positivity. Whether it's a book that inspires new accomplishments or music that reaches deep into your soul and brings back harmony. Use that as an anchor. It won't stop. It will keep pushing you, offering more and more reasons for anxiety and frustration. But once you realize that you can choose your reaction, once you realize that your attention is the most valuable resource you have, you will begin to win this battle. Marcus Aurelius said that endurance is the ability to restrain your desires and direct your thoughts. This is the key to release in the moment when a wave of negativity hits you. Get your hands on a book that will restore your faith in yourself and peace. Talk to friends whose voice reminds you that you are not alone. Listen to music that helps you breathe deeper and see the light even in the darkest of times. Your mind is a battlefield, and the one who knows how to shift focus rather than letting negativity consume you from the inside wins here. You can choose to feed yourself with the positivity that awaits you from a variety of sources. It doesn't matter what it is. The important thing is that it works just for you, shifting your focus from the destructive to the creative. You are becoming stronger. You are no longer a puppet in the hands of circumstances, but the master of your inner world. And when you learn this switch, no negativity will be able to stay in your life longer than you let it. Your power lies in not letting the dark cloud cover the entire horizon. You see beyond, you see the light, and you choose to move towards it. That choice is your freedom, your reaction, your power. It is something that no one can take away from you, no matter what is going on around you. Negativity is not just random. This phenomenon is a test of your resilience, a test of your spirit. Every day, you encounter things beyond your control, other people's words, actions, circumstances that go off the rails. You can't control them any more than you can stop the wind or extinguish the sun. But here's the thing, all their power is destroyed when you realize that your reaction to it all is in your hands. There are moments when everything seems to be flying into the abyss. People can be cruel, circumstances unfair, and the world around you. Things start to lose their shape, but here's the point. You don't have to be a puppet in this chaos. You can stand firm as a rock in the midst of a raging ocean. Your behavior, your reaction, is your power. You decide what emotions to allow yourself, how to act, and what to leave outside of your inner world. The words of others are just wind. They cannot destroy you if you do not allow them. As Marcus Aurelius said, carry within you a source of strength and warmth like the sun. If you have your own footing, nothing outside can break you. These words are a reminder that your strength is not in controlling everything around you, but in being able to control yourself. You can't change someone who yells at you, but you can respond. You can't force the world to be kind, but you can keep your kindness even in the darkest of times. Negativity will attack, will try to break through your defenses. But every time you don't give in to it, every time you remain master of your reaction, you win. You don't just preserve yourself. You are in a moment where everything around you is crumbling, but inside you have an unshakable confidence that you can control your destiny no matter what. And so, when the storm subsides, you see that everything really important is still intact, because it was always in your hands. Your reaction is your power. It belongs to you alone, and no one can control it. It is your personal choice to let the storm consume you or use it as fuel for your own growth. You are stronger than you appear to be, and that strength manifests itself in ways other than fighting. Peace is about how you respond to it. Every time you realize this and use your power, you win, and no negativity can break you. Turn it into action. Negativity is not just an obstacle, but an energy that you can take control of and channel. Every frustration, every resentment is more than just an emotion. It's a potential force that, if managed correctly, can become your most powerful fuel. When someone tries to confuse you, knock you down, or rob you of your confidence, you have a choice. Break under the weight or transform it. The desire to prove otherwise is transformation, an art that is accessible to few because it requires stamina, self-discipline, and cold calculation. You feel the anger, resentment, and rage growing, and they seem to be destroying you from the inside out. But it is here, in this boiling cauldron of emotions, that your real strength is born. You don't let them destroy you. You take that power and channel it toward your goal. Negativity becomes fuel. What keeps you from moving forward can become your path, said Marcus Aurelius. This phrase captures the essence of how any negative experience can be utilized. Obstacles are opportunities to become stronger, smarter, and more persistent. You don't just go for the goal. You push through the difficulties, using them as a springboard. Every time someone tries to stop you, tells you that you won't succeed or that you're not good enough, they only fuel the fire inside of you. That fire is not rage. Blind aggression is the pure pursuit of a goal. The force that pushes you forward when everything around you is trying to stop you. You are no longer a victim of circumstance, but the architect of your own destiny. The negativity that was supposed to destroy you becomes what makes you even stronger. You translate emotion into action, not letting it tear you apart from the inside out. This is not running away from pain, but accepting pain as a necessary part of your growth. You're not just proving something to others, you're proving it to yourself every time you meet an obstacle in your path. You become even more confident in your abilities. Every negative emotion becomes a stepping stone on your way to the top. And at some point, you realize that it is this path full of struggle and overcoming that makes you who you are meant to be. So take action. Don't let negativity consume you. Make it your ally. Let every resentment, every doubt, and every attempt to stop you become an extra push on your path. You are stronger than all those words. Circumstances because you know how to use them to your advantage, and that's your true strength. To be able to turn the destructive into the constructive. Be an observer. The negativity that bursts into your life always seems like something significant, something that can shake your foundations and change your reality. But here's what's important to realize. It's just a moment, fleeting, like the shadow of a cloud that covers the sun for a moment. You don't have to become a part of it. You don't have to let it define who you are. Become an observer in the moment when negativity tries to take you over. Remember, this is not your reality. It is just a stage on which a temporary event is unfolding. As Epictetus said, it's not the events themselves that bother people, but their opinion of the events, and that opinion is in your hands. You decide whether the negative becomes your reality or remains just a passing episode. When you observe, you take your power into your own hands, and negativity becomes just a moment that has no power over you. It comes and goes, like everything in this world. Your true self is not connected to it. A moment is more than any situation, more than any emotion that arises in response to what is happening. Your essence is not subject to the winds of change because it is deeper than any circumstance. Sometimes, negativity can seem as powerful as a wave that can knock you down. But the wave is just a part of the ocean. It comes and goes, leaving behind calm and silence. Your task is not to dissolve into that wave, but to simply watch it, knowing that it will soon subside, leaving you unharmed. You are an observer, not a participant. You see the negativity in this drama. You recognize it, but it has no power over you. Yourself is the fortress that stands above all these temporary storms. You see the storm, but you are not within it. You watch the play of light and shadow, the change of days and nights, but you are more than this cycle. When you realize this, when you really feel it deep inside, negativity loses its power. It can no longer dictate how you feel or react. It simply passes, leaving you as strong as you were before. Be an observer. Allow the negativity to pass by without hurting you, Remember that this moment is just a moment in the flow of time, unless you allow it yourself. You are more than your emotions, more than any situation. And that is your power, to be able to see things as they are, without fear, without attachment, without illusion. In that moment, when darkness overtakes you and everything seems to be crumbling, look to your past. There, in the shadows of your experience, are hidden moments that testify to your strength and ability. Overcoming difficulties is something you already know how to do. You have faced negativity that tried to break you, but you came out of that battle victorious. Don't forget that. Remember your past victories as precious trophies that remind you that you are capable of more than you seem to be at the moment. When you feel your strength is running low, when doubts begin to erode your confidence, take a step back and remember those moments when, despite fear and pressure, you were able to persevere. Dealt with those moments. They're not just a part of your past. They're proof that you're stronger than you think. They're like beacons in the fog, reminding you that you've won before. If you could do it then, you can do it now. Marcus Aurelius said, "The past is the shape of the future. What has already happened will happen again." Your past victories are the keys to the victories that lie ahead. You already know how to do it. You've already proven to yourself that you can handle any negativity and any difficulty that comes your way. Don't forget that. In every defeat, there is a seed of future victory. And in every victory, there is a reminder that you are strong. Let your hindsight be your shield in moments of doubt. Remember how you overcame obstacles, how you fought your fears and won. You have already proven to yourself and the world that you can withstand any blow. You've walked through fire and not gotten burned. So why should it be any different now? Remember how you got up after falling, how you found your strength when it seemed like it was gone. It's not easy. Memories are your legacy, your personal story of strength and resilience. Every time you face a new challenge, this story reminds you that you have what it takes to get through it again. You are stronger than you think, and your past confirms it. Your victories are not an accident, but a pattern. You have fought and won, and you will win again. So in moments when everything seems black and negativity is trying to break you, remember who you were then and who you are now. Remember your strength. Determination is your ability to not give up. It's not just a memory. It's living proof that you can overcome any challenge because you've done it before. No one can take that power away from you unless you let them. Be resilient. This is not just advice. It's a call to action in a world where negativity surrounds us on all sides. Resilience is your shield, your tool to help you endure and succeed. Every time you face negativity and don't give in to it, you're taking another step toward becoming stronger and firmer. Unwavering strength doesn't just come by chance. It has to be developed. Like muscles in the body, through constant training and daily effort. Resilience is not just the ability to withstand a blow. It's the ability to get back up after each fall, becoming firmer and more confident. You may be surrounded by naysayers, critics, and ridicule. Negativity may creep up on you from the shadows, trying to knock you out and weaken your resolve. But every time you stand your ground, don't let it break you. Penetrating your heart is like an anvil and a hammer that builds your character. As Nietzsche said, "What does not kill us makes us stronger." These words are not just a philosophical concept, but a guide to action. Negativity is a test of your patience, your ability to withstand and keep moving forward. But it's not just about enduring. It's about becoming better, becoming stronger. Resilience is not an innate quality. It's a skill that can and should be developed. With every refusal to give in to irritation, resentment, despair, you become stronger. You grow with each refusal to let negativity control you. You become more aware, more confident. It's like exercising a muscle. At first, it causes pain and resistance, but over time, it brings strength, flexibility, and confidence. Your mind is the gym, and every negative impulse is another weight you lift, making yourself stronger. Don't expect instant results. Just like in sports, it takes time to form. But every time you stand your ground and don't let negativity take over, you're evolving. Your resilience. It's a slow but sure path to an inner strength that won't break under the pressure of external circumstances. And then one day, you will look back and see that those problems no longer have power over you. You have become someone who withstands any adversity, who faces the negativity and goes on without stopping. You are toughening up, and it is becoming second nature to you. You are no longer just reacting to the world, but controlling your reaction, your state, your destiny. Become resilient. Do it every day, every time. Take a moment. Every time there is a negative impulse that tries to break you, let it be a moment of your growth. That is your strength and your advantage. Develop resilience like a muscle, and nothing can break you. So, how do you defy negativity and win? Everything we've talked about boils down to one simple but profound principle. The power is in your reaction. You can't control the world around you, but you can always control yourself. Negativity is not an enemy, but a challenge that toughens you up and makes you stronger, smarter, more resilient. Every time you face negativity and don't give in to it, you win. You yourself turn doubt into confidence. The ancient sages knew this better than anyone. As Seneca said, "It is not suffering, but our attitude toward suffering that causes pain." Negativity is just a shadow that exists as long as you look at it. Turn away from it, don't pay attention to it, and it will disappear like fog in the sunlight. This does not mean avoiding difficulties. It means facing them and realizing that they are temporary, that they cannot define you, only you. If you don't allow yourself to be defeated, then you don't realize that every negative moment and every challenge is a stepping stone on the path of your growth and personal triumph. I wish you to have as few negative moments in your life as possible. But if they do happen, let it be an opportunity for you to show your strength. Let every difficulty be a lesson, and every negative a push to new achievements. You are stronger than you think, and that strength is in your hands. Remember that the next time you face difficulties,